Are you looking for job abroad? Are you an international student going to a different country, or are you a professional in a certain profession and you're looking for a job to move abroad? If you are in one of these categories, then this video is actually meant for you. So today I'll be talking about a couple of countries and jobs and how I was able to get job early as an international student while moving to the UK to study. So without further ado, let's get to this video. So if your dream actually is to work abroad as a professional, so there are certain things you need to put into consideration first before even thinking of what moving abroad, right? So you need to think of your skills, you need to think of your experience, you also need to think of how this align with the country you're going to work with. So currently from the UK, I would say there's a lot of job opportunity for international worker. A lot of skilled worker visa is actually available, but the problem is we have a lot of couple of changes also here in the UK. So um, there are jobs at the same time, also there are challenges, especially for certain area or certain field. So formally, as an international student, you come to the UK, you just after your graduation, you have like your uh, 24 months to seek for a job in your visa. They'll give you like a post-study visa where you can look for a job. But now it's no longer. I think they've reduced it to 18 months instead of 24 months. I think currently they've reduced it to 18 months instead of 24 months. So what if you are an international skilled worker coming to the UK, you are going to get your visa, your skilled worker visa directly from your country coming to the UK. So I'm just going to give you like a couple of jobs that you should apply for. You should be thinking of, okay, these are the area of jobs I should be applying for at the moment in the UK that can give me sponsorship. Or even at the moment, if you don't have the skills, you can actually go ahead, probably do a course in that area, probably do an apprenticeship just to have like a physical experience. So like for me, when I was coming to the UK, like I said earlier on, uh, I've not done anything in healthcare, but I knew healthcare job was so popular where the city I was going in, and I needed to get a job. So I did a couple of courses online. I did around I think around 28 online courses. So immediately I got there, when I started applying for job, it took me I think around 2 months or 2.5 months to get a job. And that job, I did that job till even after my post study. It was when I get my um skilled worker visa, I have to change from that particular job to another job that gave me the sponsorship. So that's how uh, I was able to get my job. So I did a couple of training. So it wasn't just one courses. I did 28, like I said earlier. Though it's much, a lot of people thought maybe I was crazy. I also spoke to a couple of my friends who were traveling at the same time to do those courses, but they felt I was crazy. So when they got here, initially they couldn't get a job. They stayed for a very long time before they were able to get a job. So why am I saying this? I'm just saying all this so that you have like a better perspective of where you're going and what is a tail to get a job. You understand? So that's the thing. It's not all about I saw a job, I just apply. No. Look at the criteria of each job. So like for me, I've applied I got two NHS job which I applied for. And after applying, I met the criteria. I went for the interview. I also passed the interview and I was employed. So this just give you like a better perspective that I know exactly what I'm talking about regarding to trying to meet the criteria of certain job abroad. Back home, like where I'm coming from in Nigeria, most job fine, you might not really have the basic experience. Even there are jobs they call management training. Somebody that just graduated from university will just start a job and the person will start working. But most time in most of this country, you need to have certain skills. You understand that will fit the job in particularly you are applying for before you will be able to get that job. I don't know if what I'm explaining make since. So the first on my list, like I said, it was the UK. So the jobs you should be thinking of right now that can give you COS outrightly, I'm just going to that can give you COS outrightly. Number one is healthcare. So any healthcare job can give you COS. So first of all, when you're applying for the job, once you see the particular role of that job, go beneath it. Most of them will show you that, oh, this job, they are giving sponsorship. And if they are not, they will also specify it on the job. So don't waste your energy on that job. And also maybe in subsequent video, I might show you how to check for those jobs on different portal where you can see those specifications. But once you open a particular job offer and you find out that there is no sponsorship, click and move on. Know what you're doing, because also while I was doing my post-study, this is just I'm not trying to make jest of anybody. There was a particular lady where I usually bank, and the lady was a permanent because she was on post-study. I was telling her then, babe, you got to move, you understand? So she didn't really plan herself well. Towards 6 months or the end of her post-study, she started vigorously looking for jobs that will actually give her sponsorship. So these are some of the mistakes that people make, not only back home. I'm not talking about right here in the UK. A lot of people also make that mistake. So avoid all these mistakes at the beginning of applying for that particular job. Just check if that job actually is meant for sponsorship. So if it's not meant for sponsorship, just forget about that. So another one also is construction. So construction here is a rigorous, not really rigorous, kind of, I won't say all the jobs, construction jobs are rigorous, but there are some that are depend on your skills, depend on the area you're working in construction. So most of those jobs are in a different city. They move around a lot based on the location where the job is. But a particular company, when you see the job you apply, the company will give you certificate of sponsorship. So once you see those jobs, because the job is on high demand, there is also sponsorship for that job. But just make sure before you think of applying. And also I'm going to say something at the end of this video so that for you to understand, so that you don't get scammed. I'm just going to give you something at the end of this video, so that I'm going to say it towards the end of the video. I just hope I remember, so that you don't get scammed of job in the UK, because I know of a relative that almost got scammed. This one, I'm not saying somebody somewhere else. No, this one is very close to me. I'll keep telling the person that this job is not real, but the person did not believe me. You know, that kind of I've arrived, you don't want me to pass this border, you know, this job is real, you don't want me to travel, you know, all those kind of mentality, until eventually they get to the final stage, and it was like, oh, thank God I did not make any payment, or I did not send the money. So that will come at the end of the video. So like I said, construction work is another jobs that can give you sponsorship at the moment in the UK. So if you're into technology, IT, if you're into technology like IT and the rest, also they give sponsorship. So hospitality also is another one. Hospitality, like all these hotel, these are other jobs also that they give sponsorships. Also, if you're in social care, also you can also get sponsorship. So these are just the jobs at the moment that I know it's easy for you to get sponsorship into the UK, and you not have a problem. So I know a lot of you might want to ask, should I come in as a student, or should I come in as a skilled worker visa? To be honest, frankly speaking, the best of the best of the best of the best and of the best is for you to come in as a skilled worker visa. If you already have your experience, don't just waste your time, waste your money to come to one university. Because at the end of the day, I've seen a PhD student. It's not everybody, how will I put it? And I'm looking for a better way to put it. You understand? It's not everybody that is going to get to that level, or it's not everybody that will not. I've seen, okay, let me use this word now. Okay, I've seen a PhD student who is working as an healthcare. I mean PhD student, graduated, still working as an healthcare. Do you understand? Also, I've seen a PhD student who became a lecturer and is lecturing at the moment. So life is actually at different level. But what me I would advise anybody that is coming to the UK at this present time. I'm recording this video today, August. We are still in August 2022. You understand? I will say come in as a skilled worker visa. If you meet the criteria, you got the job and they gave you an offer. That is the best of the best at the moment in the UK. Germany also, they have jobs going on. You can get a job in Germany. You can get a job in Canada. But also, you can get a job in Australia and New Zealand. So this job also fall into the same criteria of what I've said earlier. I don't want to be repeating the video for the video to be too long. So it falls within the construction, healthcare, and also every country has their requirements. So I will advise you go to their job search. And also I know Sweden and Norway, they have a couple of jobs for international skilled worker. So you can also equally look at their website or go to each country has Indeed. Just go to their Indeed. Just like now, for example, you can go to swedenindeed.com or ukindeed.com. Most time you get those jobs there. Like if it's in the healthcare now in the UK, you can go to nhs.com.uk. You understand? So you will be able to get those jobs in those different categories. But mostly Indeed will be able to give you a better perspective where you can see more of these jobs for each country. Just put Indeed Australia, Indeed New Zealand, Indeed, and you get all those jobs. Though most of them also have their own country website where you can get a job. So if you just type that on Google, definitely you will see it. So these are the country: Australia, New Zealand, UK, Germany, Sweden, and Canada. So these are the countries. They are always looking for jobs. Always having shortages in this area. And also as an international student, if you are coming to school or if you are going to school in a particular country, you need a job to survive, except you are a Dangote's son or Dangote granddaughter or grandson. You don't need money. You don't need to work to get money, So, but if you are in those categories, just try and look for a skilled and that matches those jobs. Get those skilled first before actually leaving. In fact, you will thank me later for that. Actually, you're going to thank me later for it. I'm telling you. So another job I didn't really talk much about is actually engineering. So also engineering are getting sponsorship a lot. Sorry about the noise, cars passing by. They're getting sponsorship a lot. So if you also you're in that particular field, just look, because engineering is quite different. So let me say back home, different engineering is quite huge. Let me just use the word. I don't just want to compare. It's quite huge. Just check the description and the experience they are requiring, that is required for the job, that you have that experience. Or if you have a similar experience and you know you can function in that particular role, definitely you can apply. But just for the engineering, please check. I'm telling you, check. Because in the UK they say engineering is different from what we're calling engineering back home. Probably from where I'm coming from or from where you also are coming from. Then another thing also a lot of people ask is which country is paying the highest, or which job is paying the highest. It's not a matter of the job or the matter of the country. Just try and look for the job that matches your skill and your experience and apply for those jobs, because that will give you a better chance for you being shortlisted for the job to the final level of getting the job and also applying for it. So just comment on the comment section which country you are watching this video from and the job experience you have, And also, I also want to quickly talk about the experience of the scam. So there are a lot of scammers, especially I don't want to call city, in one of the big city in this country. Actually, there are a lot of job scammer going on. So I have a relative who fall victim, like I said at the beginning of the video, who almost, not really, he did not fall victim because I was there for him, so someone else might not be there for you. Who, because most time they come, they make it so real. You understand? They give you like all the process you need to, until you get to the stage they're asking you for money. They give you all the document, they give you everything. It's so real, like so real. They even give you an address. So if you know someone, if you know someone here in the UK, or maybe there's a way you can check the address and confirm, because I literally need to leave my city to that city where the job was offered to the person. I went there and there was no literally address. There was address given to him, but the address of the place could not be located where it were. It was just like a space, how will I say it? Just like a street corner. That was the address that was in the job application. So imagine if I could not go and confirm that for him. Imagine if he was not having someone who could go there and confirm. You understand? So he would have paid that money, they would have scammed him the money. Then another thing I want to say is that here in the UK, you don't pay money to get a job. I know most of the developed country, you don't pay money to get a job. So if, I don't know, maybe you have a specific agency that you're working with. So I'm going to make another video on how you can get a job with that agent or agency, whatever they might call them. So I know for developed countries, you don't need to pay money to get a job. So even though you are going to be using agencies, so let it be specified that the job is not what they are paying for, is the service of the agent that you're paying for, not for the job. So just let it not be twisted, so that you don't get being scammed again. And also for visa application, all those things, like me when I was coming here, I did all my visa. Since I've been in this country, all my visa, all my everything, I did myself from the comfort of my home. Even when I was coming to this country, I did everything on my own without, not even agency for anything. I didn't use agency for anything. So if you want all those kind of videos, just let me know in the comment section. I can take time and try and make a different video for that, on how you can go about it if you want that. So if you are applying through an agency, make sure you are paying for the agency fee, not the application. You are not paying for the job. Sorry, not for the job. The job is different, the agency is different. So know that and know that very well, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye bye.